Hey, everybody, it's your man Type coming to you with another true spook story. Now, before I begin, I'm going to ask that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to ask that you share me with your friends and family if you think it's not robbery. Now, let's jump on into this thing. Well, this story is going to take place within the Altamont Springs part of Florida. It's about 25, 30 minutes away from Orlando, depending on what road you take. You can take I-4. I don't know what exit, can't remember offhand, but you can take I-4 and it'll tell you Altamont Springs area. Well, this started back when oh, I'll put it like this. So this started back when I was heavy Christian. I had got out of doing all the work with me and grandmama. I had became the card carrying Christian. I had a Bible with my name on it, going to church every day. I'm praising the Lord Jesus Christ. And I'm enjoying praising the Lord Jesus Christ. But for some reason, I bounced from church to church that year. I had to be about 20. No, I'm sorry. I had to be around by 24, 25, up in that range there. So I would bounce around from church to church, church to church. I went to a white church where where they didn't have no instruments. They just harmonized and sang. And I was, okay, this is cool too. Then I went to a Baptist church, Fire and Brimstone out of Kissimmee. I tried to do that, St. Luke. I went to a couple other churches around Orlando because I was thirsting for spirituality. So I was like, man, I just really got to get some spiritual energy. Me and grandma, we've been doing all this witchcraft, and they had gotten into it about, curses being placed on your life and stuff, of talking to the black ancestors and Orishas and Loas and stuff. So, I had let somebody get in my head and mess me up as a jit. So I was like, shit, I just gotta repent for all my sins, save my soul, yada yada yakety schmackety boogity boogity. So it came to the time where, I had mixed it up with some Buddhist monks, the ones over there in the Apopka area. So I mixed it up with the Buddhist monks, and the Chinese Buddhist monks. They welcomed me in. They were teaching me how to meditate. And that was the first time I realized that a female can be a Buddhist monk. I thought they was all men, from all the little karate movies and shit I watched as a kid. I ain't know a woman could shave her head and she could become a Buddhist monk and give up a life of celibacy inside these temples. So that was the first time I saw a female as a Buddhist monk. So me and her sat down for a while. We was meditating, and that's a whole separate true spook story right there. Cause let me tell you, them Chinese people got power, boy. They do some meditative shit, boy. That whoa, that must. So I sat down with her, and she taught me how to meditate. We would meditate outside in front of the dragon. We would meditate inside in front of a bowl of water, and it was just really cool. But I still wasn't fulfilled with all of that energy. So then, I started getting into this whole Celtic thing, tarot cards, and I said, you know what? Let me get into the Viking, the Norwegians, Odin, Wednesday. I said, let me get into all that stuff. I mean, like, it got to be something, Protestant, Catholic. I was just lost from the age of 23 to like 27. I was spiritually lost, man. So I happened to run into some druids. Now, I ain't talking about the druids that you motherfucker call themselves druid, or they want to carry little ruins and stones in their pocket, that type of shit. I'm talking about real live druid bitches wore brown robes with hoods, carry stones in their hand, and they had words like it sounded Chinese, it sounded Chinese, but it was more, Scottish, Celtic, Irish. So it was them. So I'm just setting the page for you because this shit finna get real. So I had start talking to them because I just wanted to feel some kind of spiritual energy, some kind of spiritual source. I wanted to tap in and lock in and feel some connection. So I was working at the warehouse called ERC Office Installations. I'm telling you the actual name where I work, people. I was working dealing with office furniture, installing office furniture inside these buildings, and I was working for ERC Office Installation. So at the time, it was the supervisor, the site supervisor was a dude named by the name of Tony. He was based out of Baltimore, Maryland, and I used to think he was a cheesy clown dude, but all in all, he knew some things. So although Tony had a problem, he loved to get on that powder. So when he get on powder, he'll crash out and fall over the place. But when he was under that powder, he would say very educated stuff about life. But when he wasn't on that powder, he was an idiot to me, I think. Well, so there was this at the same place, there was this girl by the name of Brandy. And Brandy was a mix. She was kind of like a mixed girl. You could tell she didn't a mixed Cuban girl, Cuban and white. She didn't like black folks, because she was taught, and she admitted it to me. She was taught that all black folks had no soul, and all the gods and deities we worship was, wasn't right, and that they should avoid. Anytime she see one, she should try to save our soul and all that stuff like that. So by me working my way up to being, warehouse manager in the warehouse I was working at with the furniture installation company, so I had to deal with her direct because she was the sales rep for the other company that we was employed to work under or to install furniture for. Well, so she comes back to the warehouse one day, and I'm back there sweeping the warehouse. I'm back there mopping the warehouse. And she like, why you? It's a warehouse, forklift, dust, and the particles. Why you mopping the warehouse? I say it's small enough for me to keep it clean, and I like the smell, And I say I just hate dust on the racks. I'm one of them particular people. So I would go around and get a mop bucket because I was there all day. Once I load a truck or two, and get the orders ready for the next day, stage them and everything, get them right for the truck, check them off, make sure they there. The warehouse need to be clean. I would dust and wipe down windows. It smelled good. All the sales rep from the company we was employed by, they like, man, we walk in here, it's like walking in our house. It's so clean. My shoes squeaking on the warehouse floor, not tapping. So they would make jokes, and they would always bring me like coffee and donuts and stuff, sandwiches when they went to lunch and stuff. They'll bring me my own little sandwich and stuff. So it became the thing. So the chick Brandy asked me, man, why do you feel like cleaning up? Why do you mop the floors back here? But I was mopping the floors with Florida water, salt, lime, and lemon, and I would sage it, every now and then, like once a month, because I had this job for like a year and a half, 2 years, and I was always saging the warehouse, saging the office where Tony was, and saging my office that was in the back of the warehouse, because my little office was in the back of the warehouse. So Brandy come walk out there, and she was like, "You're different than all the other black folks." And I'm like, "Okay, what you mean?" Now I'm looking at the bitch side eye, like, "What you talking about? I'm different from other black folks. Is there a different?" She's like, "No, you're very cleanly." And it took me back a little bit. I paused, "Bitch, what in my head, I'm like, bitch, what you mean I'm cleanly? What, all black folks just rub shit on their arm and eat off their elbows? What the fuck you talking about?" This is what I wanted to say to her, but she works for the company. I ain't trying to get fired or bring no rap down. So I'm like, "Okay, what?" I say, "I don't understand." She say, "No, your warehouse is so organized and tidy. You dust off the boxes with a feather duster. You mop the floor. You wipe down the forklift. It's like you just keep everything clean. The trucks come in. You make sure the trucks are all cleaned on the inside. You just a one man. You're a clean person." She said, "You're a religious fellow, aren't you?" And I say, "Pretty much so." I say, she say, "Do you have a church you go to?" And I said, "No." I say, "No, I don't go to church." I say, "I'm raised Baptist. I was going to St. Luke Missionary Baptist Church over there." I say, "But I'm out of the church because they did so much wrong, and I just don't want to deal with it." And she was like, "Well, I would love for you to come and go to my church with me and my husband and my son." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It was an empty "yeah, sure," but the bitch worked in the front office, so she would literally come back there and like, "Hey, you ready to go this Sunday?" So I went to a church in Altamount. It's right on. You go up 436 and you cross under the overpass, and this is big ass church that sit to the right hand side and all of that good stuff right there. So we went there. I think they might have changed it. It's a new denomination, but back in the day, it was a church for Celtic pagan druids. It was like a Christian church with the Christian cross and all that stuff, but it wasn't no Jesus in that bitch. They was having stones, baby. You put on a black robe when you walked in that bitch. So when I went there, you know, it wasn't too many of me in there. Probably another one, and he was married to one of them. So, so then I walked in there, they handed me a black robe, and they said, put this on. And I'm like, do I got to take off my clothes? They're like, no, 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 you put it on over your clothes. I'm like, okay, because this is what she said. I don't know. So all your druids, pagans, and all the other goddamn Celtic cats don't come at me with the shit. I'm going off what I experienced. So heck with your feeling. So they said in order to go in the midst of their circle, I had to have on a black hooded robe. Nothing could be shown except my face, and that need to be shown in the shadow. The hood was over my hands, covered my shoes. The way we walk, we would have to pinch it and walk so we don't trip. Like pinch the thigh area, walk so we don't trip anywhere we went into church. And we couldn't hold each other hands or nothing. It was singular. We was virtually shadows. So I walked and I sat in the pew and everything, and the guy, he comes up there and he has on a different robe than us. His robe ain't black, it's brown. And he begins to chant and read, and he's reading in a Celtic language. It was wild, man. Most craziest thing I ever saw in my days. So he read from all that there. He read from the book, and then there's a usher in a black robe holding like an Easter basket, and he and or she, I don't know, because you got on the robe and the robes are big, you can't see no shape of no ass, no tits or nothing, because the way they hold it. So they would give stones to the people in the pews, and they would pass them down to everybody got one. So I had received a green stone, which was malachite. I know today to be malachite. And the prayer scripture verse was that of Malachite, and it was talking about because the girl was translating, they were talking about how it's supposed to boost your ego, give you ferocity, make you strong, that type of stuff. Is like increase anger and stuff. So then they would come back, and they on the opposite side, they would pick that up, and then they would give you a different color stone. And throughout the service, they would hand stones in you, like give you stones, and the guy would read from his particular Bible verse, and you would repeat what he say, holding this stone in your hand. So I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is just the right amount of pepper. It got a nice amount of, witchcraft, and then it got a nice amount of, Christianity, Celtic energy in it. I say, I found my home. I say, these druids, these pagans, they got what I need. So I'm like, okay, so I'm excited. So I can't wait to go back next Sunday. I can't wait to go back. I'm excited, talking, telling everybody about everything. I called grandmama and I told grandmama, and she like, tell me, go back a couple times and then tell me what you think. I want to know about what's going on, baby. I said, yes, ma'am. She was supporting me in all this right here. I'm like, okay, yeah. I say, I didn't know that these people was real live. Listen to me. I didn't know they were real live pagans and druids, man. From the old days, Stonehenge motherfuckers, man. I'm talking like that old white magic, baby. So I went a couple times, and so they are on top of church. They had accepted me in, and I wasn't a member. They had accepted me in, but Brandy, she comes back in the warehouse one night, and it's about 7:30 at night. And I'm gonna tell you just this part, but then I'll tell you what led up to that part as well. So it's about 7:30 that night. I'm still mopping the warehouse, cleaning off the trucks. I thought I was alone in the whole entire building, but then I heard the office door open. I hear footsteps, and I see, the shadow of Brandy, because as you walk, the lights come on because they was time sensitive lights. And I said, Miss Brandy, you okay? And she coming back there with her hands crossing, tears coming out her eyes, and she just like red as a fucking balloon. So I'm like, oh shit, this shit ain't gonna happen. And you know what's going through my mind, and I'm just gonna be keeping it a buck, being a real nigga. I'm in here with this white woman by myself. She walking in the back of a warehouse. It's 7:30 at night in the warehouse, just me and her. And she walking back that bitch crying. I don't know what happened in the front. She got her hand crossed and she walking back there with her stonewashed jeans and a little pink shirt. I say, this shit is not gonna happen. So I say, hey, Miss Brandy, I'm getting the fuck on out of here. I said, hey, if you need something, let me know. So, I made sure I'm walking in front of the cameras. I made sure I'm side, in front of the cameras the whole time conversating with her. I'm standing within camera range shot. Cause last thing I'm gonna need the bitch to say that, oh, this nigga touched me in some form of fashion. So I'm terrified. Boy, if you black man, black man, black man, boy, you become a real humble cat when you face in a situation where you in a dark alley, dark warehouse, or dark anything with a single white female. Your whole life flashed before you, and you in prison getting a real burrito stuffed up your ass in the wrong way. So I bolted out the back door, and standing in front of the camera, and she like, don't go nowhere. She like, hi, come here, please. And I walk back up the stairs, but I know I'm in front of a camera, and I say, yes, ma'am. And I'm talking loud too, cause ain't nobody in the back of this warehouse but me and her. She walked through the warehouse. I ran out the back door, and I'm at the bottom of the stairs in the bitch, and she talking and she just crying. So the gentleman in me wants to go and console her and hug her, but the nigga in me saying, no, you touch this white woman, nigga, you just did whatever the fuck somebody else did to her, and she gonna put it on you. You got DNA on her arm, rather her tears on you. No. So I say, Miss Brandon, why you crying? What's going on? I said, I say, you sure you okay? Do I need to call the police? Is everything okay? She like, I woke up this morning and I just could not stop eating. I just ate and I ate and I feel like a pig. Oh. So she broke down boo-hoo crying because she woke up that morning and started just glutting the fuck out, right? So I'm like, hold up. You done work all through the fucking day. You done had 2 extra hours because the building closed at 5:30. To sit up there and thinking you sitting up here ain't going home because you just ate too much that morning and then you ate a big lunch and you just feeling fat. This is the fucking issue. You spooking the shit out of me. Got me thinking about I'm going to prison for life if you just lie on me. So I'm like, this bitch. This bitch spooked me the fuck out. I say, Miss Brandy, I say, just take a diuretic. I say, go get some diet pills from Walmart or CVS. I say, flush it out you real good and drink a lot of water. I say, you'll feel better in 1 or 2 days. I say, everybody backtrack. She's like, but it's not so easy. I always had this gluttonous demon inside of me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I say, demon. I say, my grandmama could fix you. I say, my grandma could fix you and get that demon up out you or help you control it. I say, we do, certain form of magic and witchcraft. I say, I know you go to your church and all in your druids. They helping you, I'm assuming. I say, and it's a beautiful church. I say, but, we can help you get that demon out. She like, that's voodoo. That's black magic. That's the stuff that's going to condemn me to hell. And I'm looking at the bitch. Oh, you just handed me a stone in church and read a Bible verse to activate the stone while it's in my hand. You can't be too Christian. But that's what I'm saying in my head. But a real nigga, I'm just saying. I say, it's really not. I say, it can help you. You won't be crying so much. So she sat down on the steps. I'm still standing at the bottom of the steps. And I said, let me get grandmama a call. So, I walk up there to the car, get my phone. And I say, hey, grandmama, could you come back here to the warehouse and things like that? I say, I have this white woman back here and she's sad. I say, I don't want to leave her back here crying because if somebody hurt her, I'm the last one with her. I say, so I'm either going to call the police and have the ambulance come and get her. I say, or you could come back here and talk to her and help me out. She say, no, my baby ain't going to no jail on some bullshit white bitch. I'll be there. I'll be there. You stand right there and you don't move. If you at the bottom of them stairs like you say, you don't move. I said, yes, ma'am. So I heard grandma, before she hang up the phone, she say, Kenetta, get my spit cup. So then the phone hung up. So I'm standing out there, I'm saying everything. And from where it was, we were like 22 minutes away. So grandma on her way, she getting the Buick. She been in the corners. I know she was because I'm a baby, y'all. So grandma I said, go to the back of the warehouse. Grandma pull up in the back of the warehouse, and Lord, I was so happy to see them lights. So grandma come back there and she have on her little nightgown and her little night robe. And grandma get out the car and she say, who is this? Is this her? I said, yes, ma'am. She say, baby, what the fuck is your problem? What's going on? Why are you crying? Did anybody up there hurt you? And she like, no, ma'am. She was respectful to grandmama. No, ma'am. She's like, this demon inside of me it just makes me eat, and I've been controlling it, but it's a gluttonous demon, and it just make me eat. And today I felt like a pig. And grandma said, it's a gluttonous demon, or were you just hungry? Grandma said, never mind, come here, walk on down here, baby. So grandma walked her down here. Grandma said, sit right there, boy. So grandma walked her to her car, and grandma just started rubbing her head and rubbing her back and consoling her and hugging her and things of that nature right there. And she just boo-hoo cried on grandma's shoulder, and grandma stayed out there with her for about 10-15 minutes, nothing to cry. And grandma saying little prayers and blessing her and kissing her on her forehead and saying, baby, you okay? It's gonna be all right. Grandma cut her eyes at me. And when grandma cut her eyes at me, I was like, oh shit. I say, so me and grandma talking telepathically. I'm like, what you want me to do, grandma? So grandma was like, basically telepathically, grandma told me to go back in the building and go to her cubicle. I don't know how grandma did it. Go back in the building, go to the front desk cubicle, and grandma say, get whatever she was eating and bring it out here to me. So I instantly jumped up, ran back in the warehouse, opened the door, ran back into the warehouse, ran all the way up there to the front, went in the front office, got the little cakes and donuts she had hidden in her drawer. When I tell you people, I opened that bottom drawer, she had been biting this ho-ho and this Twinkie and putting half of it back. She really did have like a Slimer problem, like a type problem and things like that.